And hello, Hearts of Oak. Thanks so much for joining us once again. It's great to have Karli Bonne back with us once again. Karli, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having me once again.
Always good fun. I can't catch up with you in person, so this is the next best thing. But people can follow you at Karluska. P is on X, Karli Bonne on Getter, and Truth and Real. Karli Bonne on Telegram. All the links are there. Make use. But there are lots happening. I saw you're going up to the Turning Point USA event, the Students Action, whatever it is,
Summit,
in
student
Tampa.
SAS. Yes.
So yeah, people can go to your link. It's pinned there on most of your profiles. They can jump on it and get a ticket. Never done Tampa. It kind of doesn't have any wind, which annoys me, especially in Florida, where it's hot and buggy.
I stay in the air conditioning. In New York, it's the same thing. For 3 months, 4 months, I'm in air conditioning. Can't handle it.
Well, go there and you can join Karli in air conditioning.
Yes.
Charlie Kirk. I've never been to a Charlie Kirk event, Turning Point USA.
Well, this
One
is
day I
going to be
will.
great because, if you see on TikTok, Charlie Kirk is blowing up with all the college campus rallies he's been having, and he's the patience of a saint talking to some of these people. But I'm going to be surrounded by youth, so maybe some of it'll rub off on me. So it's going to be very exciting because there's hope for the future.
Yep.
That's what I'm seeing. Where a couple years ago I was like, we're doomed. We're doomed. The next generation is doomed. But it doesn't seem to be that way, and a lot of that is due to Charlie Kirk,
Yeah.
and it's just amazing to watch.
No, it is. Those interviews, those videos, he always listens to people
Yes.
and lets them dig deeper and deeper before he just goes in and asks a little question. Always good. But let's go with Comey.
Oh,
This interesting. Here's a little clip you posted from Fox, I think. It's just over a minute. Let's listen to this.
Fox News alert, a major investigation has just been launched into the former FBI director, James Comey, for posting a threat to the life of the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Comey, not a fan of Trump, posted a picture of shells on a beach that say 8647. The caption, cool shell formation on my beach walk. Why the numbers 86 and 47? The number 86 is common military code to take out someone or something. And Trump is the 47th president. When people caught on, Comey tried to cover it up. He deleted the post and replaced it with this, quote, I posted earlier a picture of some shells I saw today on a beach walk, which I assumed were a political message. I didn't realize some folks associate those numbers with violence. It never occurred to me, but I oppose violence of any kind, so I took the post down. A political message? I don't think so. He's the former FBI director. He had the codes. He knows what it means. Trump's already faced 2 assassination attempts. Comey should know better. And let's be honest, he probably does. The White House says it's taking the threat seriously, and it's all hands on deck. The FBI, DHS, and the Secret Service are now investigating the threat and will respond appropriately. He deserves.
We'll take it off there. He just didn't know.
That's
No idea.
BS. BS. Also, they just did a preview video of Bret Baier's interview with President Trump tonight, and he said Comey knew exactly what that meant, and he's a dirty cop. He knew exactly what that meant, so let's see what happens, because basically I saw a cat turd post. He's deleted his whole Instagram account, and he's got a book coming out. This guy writes these novels. He says it's inspiration he takes from his daughter as a prosecutor, and he writes these tall tales, but it basically mirrors him, because he's just so full of himself. It's so obvious how full of himself he is. If you go back and look at old videos, how he went and framed General Flynn. It never ends. This guy thinks he's something else. And let's see what happens.
it adds up that he's got a book coming out. That makes sense now.
Yeah, well, that's the minute I saw it and everyone's, like, losing it, I was like, He's gotta have a book coming out," and sure enough, he's got a book coming out. So this is to get all kinds of hype because there are people that have Trump derangement syndrome so severely that they'll stick up for this.
Yeah. No,
You
exactly.
actually have posts, what is that Cranestein idiot put up, pool balls,
Oh,
86,
yeah.
47, you know? And even Jason Miller said, "What the fuck is the matter with these people?"
So that
He posted that. It's like, they're claiming, "Oh, this is free speech." So now no, we're gonna disregard the threat, and it's free speech, And this is a former FBI director that couldn't believe that he was let go, and after all the dirty crap that he did, but he's so knowledgeable and he writes books and he's such a deep thinker, didn't know what 8647 meant.
no,
So
exactly.
give me a break.
But
So it's a lot of what is the old word? Hullabaloo.
hullabaloo, hullabaloo. This is going to run and run, definitely. So we'll keep an eye on it. Here, want to move. Here's a clip you posted. It was great to see Steve on with Matt Getz on his show, and here's just a little clip from that. Steve, as always, stirring things up, and I'll let you make your own mind on this statement for 2028. And here's the clip.
Even close to the western part of the state, you would show up on the tarmac, and Kayleigh McEnany would show up on the tarmac at the rallies. I said, this guy is dedicated. So I think that paid off well for you.
I miss the rallies. It was like a family reunion. It was an emotional experience.
Yes.
There was so much joy. I think all of these left-wing haters should have to go to a Trump rally, because what they will find is
transformative.
They'll feel better about themselves. They'll be happier.
Yes.
And
they talk about the anger in the media and everything like that. There's no anger. This is working class joy for a guy up there that's stepping up and trying to put him in the room.
Can JD put it together this way?
Well, Trump's running at 28, so we're going to have another run. We're going to have another shot at. We're going to have another shot at the rallies.
They were.
I love it.
He's not going to let up on that.
He's not. But
He's
no, the
not.
rallies are, I mean, there's so much energy, excitement, enthusiasm, friendship. It's just, it is a celebration as opposed to a normal political rally.
Well, you have people with Trump derangement syndrome or people against Trump that have gone to these rallies and have been embraced by the people waiting online and have had civil conversations and got hugs and got a hat, and it's nothing but love. Trump calls it's a love fest. It's all about the love, and I can't wait whether it's President Trump or JD. Can't wait.
It's going to
Can't
be.
wait.
It's going to be good. And it's good to see Matt Getz. He's on, what is it, OAN he's on?
OAN, and I think they just got another deal for streaming, which is great, so that they're growing since they were taken off. Like, I can't get OAN on Verizon here in New York, but I can get it on other streaming services. And he's doing great. I wish he was AG.
Yeah.
Because Comey would have been probably behind bars before he even made this stupid ass Instagram post, if you ask me. I know everyone says be patient and this and that, but it's like we've been patient for so long. You're talking how many years ago that he did what he did. And now we're going to be all outraged now. The outrage never stopped. It never ended for some of us. And I just, after a while you get in this lull of, you're waiting so long. It's like, it doesn't matter anymore. Like that, I could jump on the whole outrage mob and say, arrest Comey, but I've been saying arrest Comey since 2016. So,
Yeah,
it's
until
just,
Pam
you get
Bondi
numb.
says it.
Yeah, you get numb, but you definitely can't take your eye off the prize.
Absolutely.
It's just so many things going on. It's just one more thing.
Well, when you talk about prize, there's been a big prize in the last week with Trump's visit to the Middle East, and there's so many clips. And Carly, you've been posting, as you always do, so many of those from the different countries meeting different leaders and the announcements, the speeches. Here's just one of the clips from it. They seem
Like
happy to see him. It's
like royalty, like royalty. He got the sword dance. He got uh the motorcade led by those beautiful horses, another one led by camels. He loves the camel. He loves this. We all love this because he should be treated like that here. It's like, what do they do here? They burn down Teslas. I mean, they the Hamas crowd closed the Brooklyn Bridge yesterday. You know what I'm saying? That's what goes on here. It's embarrassing. And their cities are gorgeous and they're clean and they're lit up and everything is just so beautiful. And like you walk through New York and it smells like piss and skunk weed. I mean, it's such a difference. And he went over there and he's bringing wealth back into our country. Let's do something with New York City. Do something with California. Here's everyone bragging how great our cities are, but they're crap. These people getting stabbed in Times Square. I don't even want to go in the city. I take an Uber. If I go to see Gutfeld, I take an Uber from Long Island into the city because I don't want to take the train. They've been working on the train station at what is it, Madison Square Garden, the downstairs. They've been working on it for years, and so here there's sections that aesthetically look nice, but there's still they just what they did was they took all the homeless and they shoved them in a corner. That's all. And if you go traveling late at night, they start wandering around. So it's no different. It's still filthy. They did the same thing with LaGuardia. They got a nice little fountain with lights and it spins around, but it's still run like crap. It's like you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig.
Well, here's a picture actually of what they do over in the Middle East. Here is let me bring it up, and this is the excitement they have of Trump coming. And this is the Burj Khalifa lit up with the stars and stripes. And you're right, kind of like, I mean, one of the
Look
other
at how
videos
beautiful that is.
it is beautiful, but one of the other videos you put up, clip of President Trump speaking about traveling the world and seeing these great uh, infrastructure, architecture, huge projects. I say you go through these airports and then you come back to U.S. airports that are so dilapidated, and he's right, and this is about, I guess, making America great again, at restoring those pieces of infrastructure back to where they should be.
They won't even, light up the Empire State Building nice. They put up like ridiculous things that piss people off, and I think they do it on purpose. What's that old picture of the main buildings in New York and they had crosses on them for, but they wouldn't think twice of putting up the rainbow flag, It's just
It's
we
self-hatred, and that's what Trump is fixing.
yeah. It's like can't we love our country? Can't we love our God? Why is it just hate and filth? And it's like I'm waiting for Sodom and Gomorrah. I really am, because it's really getting to the point where there's a lot of people that should just turn into pillars of salt. It's just it's horrifying. and this is what we fight, and it's not a Nazi thing, because if you think this way, we're Nazis now. Be a Christian nationalist, just being a Christian. And I should hate myself because I'm white. I went to motor vehicles the other day to get my ID, and I couldn't get it because I didn't have enough other ID to get the ID. And let me tell you, I sat there for 2 hours, and it was like I'm sensitive to aura.
Yep.
I don't know how else to put it. It was the most miserable, like I physically felt ill in there. Everyone was overweight. Everyone was sweating. Some people smelled horrendous. It was horrible. And it's not even New York. This is Long Island. And it was just, I couldn't get out of there fast enough. So when the little guy said, "Oh, the date on your passport, it expired." I said, "It expired 2 days ago. Can you cut me some slack?" "Well, do you have a birth certificate?" I was like, I just grabbed my stuff and I couldn't get out of there fast
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
The heck with this. So now I got to get the passport first and then go back to get the other. It's ridiculous. It really is. But if I came over illegally, I could get on a plane without ID. I could go, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you make it harder for your own citizenry,
You need to work on your Mexican accent, Carly.
oh, there used to be parody videos of people that they go to Mexico and then sneak in America so they could get all the free stuff. There were guys that actually made TikTok videos. They were hysterical. But that's basically what was happening for 4 years. And now they want to keep them all because they've got their Democrat districts. Like we said, if you said you want to flood the country with illegals, it's because you want votes. And he's, "Oh, that's racist." And it turns out it was true. So
It's true. We've seen it. Yeah.
everything's been proven. What you said years ago would get you taken down from social media. It's all true.
Here, here's another. There are a few clips we want to show from President Trump's tour. Here is him getting asked, and sadly, it was by a BBC reporter, UK reporter. But as always, he shoots them down. Here's the clip of him getting asked about how it went.
Mr. President, are you disappointed in the level of the delegation that the Russians send to Turkey?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not disappointed in anything. Who are you from?
BBC News.
I'm not disappointed. What would I be We just took in $4 trillion, and he says, "Are you disappointed about a delegation?" I know nothing about a delegation. I haven't even checked. Look, nothing's going to happen until Putin and I get together, okay? And obviously he wasn't going to go. He was going to go, but he thought I was going to go. He wasn't going if I wasn't there. And I don't believe anything's going to happen, whether you like it or not, until he and I get together. But we're going to have to get it solved because too many people are dying. Thank you. You're going to...
Yeah, I love the put down, but then the whole issue of those talks that may or may not happen in Turkey for Ukraine, Russia.
Well, Putin wants Trump there.
Yeah.
Okay. But the delegations are talking. Marco Rubio's there. And Zelensky's willing to talk to Putin, which is a huge move because he wanted nothing to do with it. But then again, he was listening to Macron and England. And you even have your Keir Starmer is like all like pro sending the illegals back. He's not from, I mean, there's a whole shift going. And let me tell you, I just posted a video. There's a guy saying that Nile Rodgers movement, not Nile Rodgers, Nigel Farage's movement is a cult, like they say about Trump. What's going on in your country, dude? What's going on?
It's so weird. It's so weird.
They're losing it like the Democrats are losing it here. I'm watching them like, it's like we're so parallel with what's going on. I mean, it started with Brexit and it's been this battle back and forth. And it's like what's going on here. And it's like all the left has is identity politics, protests, And now they're starting to curse more. They're
Yeah.
dark Democrats, like dark branded, when they try to they they try to make the potato president legitimate because he wore sunglasses. Stop. No,
I know.
and wait, were you going to ask me about the tissue controversy on the train with the spoon or whatever?
I mean, who know? Because really, who know? This is with Macron and with the German and Keir Starmer.
Yeah, and so I don't know, and it's like there was a couple videos, like one video was before the guy came, and then all of a sudden the
Yep.
tissue was there. So they've been editing, and then they put out videos, and because they rehearse, it's all rehearsed. It's all photo time.
But you see, if it is what is being claimed, then they wouldn't have shot the video. They got so many minders. Everything is perfect, and I can't imagine that actually, if they do use that, who knows? But I can't imagine that it would just be sitting there.
Yeah.
Part of it, it doesn't. It
No, but
doesn't.
you
Yeah,
gotta
doesn't make sense.
understand, it's fun to troll sometimes.
I
We do a
agree.
little trolling, okay? So it's fun to make little videos like people are adding music to it because I got hot, because I got it's fun to troll, okay? And then it gets them on the defensive. Either they ignore it, which is sometimes the smartest thing to do. Just let the internet have it's fun, and then tomorrow's another day. Or you put out a statement, it was a tissue, and then you get
Yeah.
everybody all over it because, oh, we can't have that going around. You got
You
to
have
know
to
when to
laugh.
laugh and just go with it instead of getting paranoid. Now, if you get paranoid, that just says to me that when the cameras are off, this might be actually going on.
Yeah.
Because how many videos we have of
Yep.
this going on with everybody. So come on now.
No, I agree. I agree. Here's something else to laugh. This is incredible footage just released.
Oh
It
no.
was Poso that got this, and this is Steve Bannon, much younger, for a life of stardom. So here's this secret clip that's just been unearthed.
Because the facts are on our side. Joe Biden never got 15 million votes, more votes than Barack Obama. Impossible. We didn't pick up net 12 House seats when we lost the presidential. Impossible. We didn't win 19 of the 20 bellwethers and lose the presidency. Impossible.
That's one of many. It's so
You
good.
know, I love it so much. Like if they sold that as a doll, I would buy it. Some of these babies, like the Trump baby, if it was a doll, I mean, it reminds me of like Cabbage Patch dolls. They're so they're so adorable. I would wait online for 2 days to get one. Okay? And when Jack put that out, I fell. I just fell down and I was crying. But what he's saying, I mean, it's just I think this is the greatest work Jack Posobiec has ever done.
And he said he changed the pen to a crayon. The crayon's
The
perfect.
crayon was chef's kiss. Chef's kiss with the crayon. I I can't. It's got me teary-eyed. I want one. I want one so bad. And it's like you could make that a doll and then, pull the string and it could do like a whole Bannon rant, you know.
Like Bannon Action Man.
Action, action, action. Take out your number 2 pencil, with the baby face. Could you
Good.
it would sell like crazy. Here, I'm thinking marketing. We have to get Bannon dolls out. There's already enough Trump merch. We need Bannon dolls that
Well,
talk.
it should be the latest addition to the War Room shop. So yes, we'll see.
But it has to be made in America. It has to be manufactured in America.
Has to be. I've told Steve that he was saying about the shop, and I said, yeah, well, I'm not bad from the shop until Steve, you're wearing every T-shirt, you're showing them all. Look, I think he only wears one to show it off. He should be wearing them all, and then should be holding up this doll. So yes, we'll say. Who knows?
I don't want to laugh in the microphone. It's killing me.
Hey, so This is a clip that I mean, it's a full interview of Trump and Sean Hannity on Air Force One, and when I watch each of these clips, I'm so jealous, thinking, "Wow, how could you be on Air Force One interviewing President Trump?" But this is President Trump; he doesn't switch off, always on. And here's
always
a
on.
little clip from it.
Was on Steffa. I call him George Slopadopoulos, George Slopadopoulos show on ABC. ABC is really bad.
I call him Little Georgie, so we both have our own little
No, but
nickname
he's a
for him.
bad guy. But he's a bad guy. We had to pay me $16 million, so that's good.
My favorite was the interview with the guy. You didn't pick David Muir or Stephanopoulos. I don't even know who you are.
I had no idea.
I don't know if the media knows how to deal with all the access they finally have, which they haven't had in a long time.
I had no idea who he was, but he got a little nasty. So I explained that I just don't know who you are. Who are you? They actually gave me a choice of anybody at ABC, and I picked this guy, Moran.
It's literally like a stand-up show. I mean, they get on so well together. It's
We don't deserve him. Oh my God, we don't deserve him. He is the greatest of all time. Oh God, there's no one like him. I don't know if we'll ever have another like him, but it's just incredible. And he doesn't care. This is who he is. This is how he's always taught them. I mean, you could go back to videos from 20 years ago. His policies are still the same, how he thinks about trade, how he thinks about money, how he thinks about, infrastructure. And he hasn't changed. So when people are pulling out their hair and saying, look what he's doing now. You knew who he was. We all knew who he was. And guess what? He won because this is what we want.
Yep.
This is what a majority of America wants. And then you got these judges that think that, they're in the church and they're going to preach how the country should be run. It's not how it's supposed to work. So they're trying anything and everything to stop this man, but you could see he doesn't stop. He's unstoppable. He has zero what's to give now because he's like, I'm going to get this done in 4 years, and don't try, they're going to try and stop him any way they can. They did the lawfare before, so he couldn't even be on the ballot. Now they got judges that are acting like almighty.
But then he's got the support, he's got the energy, and got the vision, and those three together, it does make him unstoppable, and he will find a way
We
to
don't
get.
have a working Congress. We have the Congress. We have, not by much, but we have Congress. We have the Senate. We could be picking up more seats in the midterms. We could be losing the Congress in the midterms, and even though they can't impeach him, they will go through impeachment.
Oh yeah.
They will go through investigations. They will do everything that they did before to stop him, to stop the agenda that was voted for. So it would be nice if we had a Congress that had his back. But it's like the same lame duck we had with Paul Ryan.
Yeah.
Who is now running Fox. And you can see on Fox every once in a while the anti-Trump. Because, I sit there and I watch hours of this crap, and I can see which reporters are Murdoch's little brainwashed pets and which ones aren't. I think they're happy that Judge Janine isn't there because she would tell it like it is. But they still have Gutfeld, they still have Jesse, and Trump took everybody. He took everybody.
I know.
Military loves Pete Hegseth. They love him.
Yep, I saw the clips again. The clips from the tour in Saudi.
Everyone that Trump picked, people love and they respect.
Well, here's another. Might be the last clip of I think Trump arrived. I think it might be UAE or Saudi Arabia. Here's a clip. Here it is. I mean, Trump got all that. Poor Biden only got a fist bump, I think.
Yeah, he didn't even get met on the tarmac. He sent a representative. I made a video of when the prince was waving goodbye and did, the heart, and it's just like what friendship. I mean, it's incredible. Also, there's articles that are out that, some Dem representatives, they don't want to be named, of course, but they're jealous of this. They said, why didn't Biden do this? Why didn't anybody else do this? And Trump went over there treated like royalty in this. And, you got the pundits over on MSDNC and CNN. Oh, Trump loves this. He wants to be a king and this and that. So, look, he didn't tell the other countries to do this.
Yep.
I mean, when Trump went in his first term, he got the sword dance and he got the lit up orb. It was incredible. And he got it here again. Treated like royalty. They want a friendship. They're also, you have to understand, these countries are showing off what they have. Look how great we're doing. We're moving from oil and we're going into AI and we're building these cities and look what we're doing. And it's impressive. And you want to move ahead? You want to work with these people. They called it peace, they said peace through strength. Now it's peace through commerce.
Yeah. Yeah.
How great is that? It's like, why do we have to go to war? Why are people dying? Let's make a deal. Let everyone be prosperous. Let everyone be great. Let every country be great again.
Well, let me bring up actually I think that, this is Fox News, one of their graphics showing that strength through commerce and showing what President Trump is bringing back. It's one of them, 200 billion plus dollars in commercial deals from UAE, 243 billion economic deals Qatar, and 600 billion commitment to invest in the US from Saudi. And they're removing long-standing sanctions in Syria. I'm not so sure about that, but the others and the huge military deals was the biggest ever military deals, 150 or 200 billion. I mean, huge numbers. And of course, no one wanted to do anything with Biden, and now Trump is, having over $1 trillion coming in a couple of days trip. I mean, do this every week, and
remember when Biden called Saudi Arabia a pariah.
Yeah.
And the only reason he went over there is because gas prices were through the roof. He took away the pipeline that was being built. Okay. He was draining the strategic reserves to lower prices to win elections. Okay. And wanting to, lift sanctions off of Venezuela to get that dirty oil. Okay. So he went over there hat in hand to beg for OPEC to lower prices. And they were like, go screw yourself, which you can't blame them. Who the hell are you? You've been bad mouthing us and everything. We saw what you did in Afghanistan. How embarrassing was that? That's what just leveled everything. What happened in Afghanistan was the end of Biden's presidency. Never came back from it. It reverberated through the whole world. That man should never have been president. The only good thing that came out of Joe Biden stealing the 2020 election was the whole world got to see what Democrats are really about, how crooked they are, how mediocre they are, how their policies are ridiculous, and how they're all kind of mentally deranged, and how the media and the Democrats covered up for this potato.
Well, let's put this clip. I don't know why the media are talking about it as a bombshell, Biden's condition. But anyway, here's just a 20-second clip from Fox talking about it.
He's clearly up to the job. He's doing it every day. He's doing it successfully.
80's the new 40. Didn't you hear? President Biden does more in 1 hour than most people do in a day.
That was then, and this is now. Bombshell new claims that President Biden's advisors floated the possibility of whether or not he would need a wheelchair if he won another term. So some new details.
I'd be more worried that his brain was mush, less that actually if he was in a wheelchair but his brain was working, that is no problem at all. They seem
Let
to
me
be
tell you how dirty the media is. Okay, they covered up for the White House. Okay. Now they're coming out with these books and throwing the White House and the Democrats under the bus to save their own face.
Yep.
This is, they're all stabbing each other in the back, and it's another great thing. The masks are off. We're seeing everything. The whole world is seeing this. They can spin it any way they like, but anyone with a real brain and some common sense can see what's really going on. We saw what was going on before. So I just sit back, eat the popcorn, watch all this unfold. They said, oh, they were afraid if Biden fell down one more time, he would have been in a wheelchair. How many, it's one thing when a president, trips, on the stairs. He fell 3 times going up stairs, not coming down.
No one falls
Going up.
going up.
And how many times after that he tripped or he went down on the stage? Oh, it was a sandbag. How many times did this man fall down? And he's sharp as a tack. I rest my case.
Do you ever feel like you say, I told you?
Oh, gee, you don't. I bite my tongue. Sometimes I'm screaming at the TV and the neighbor's dogs start barking. Because I get so frustrated. I used to make the videos screaming at the TV or laughing at the TV. I don't anymore because I would be flooding the internet with videos like this all day long, and it's just not worth it because I'm not alone anymore, which is great. I'm not the only one. There's other people on TikTok that are screaming at the TV or laughing at the TV. It's like a thing, and I love it. I'm not the only one that does this or did do it.
Yep.
And it just means a great awakening. People are aware of their surroundings, and it's beautiful to watch. Now, I just hope that people stay awake and don't fall for a lot of nonsense because the midterms are around the corner. If we lose the House, that's it.
Yep.
The agenda is done. The agenda is done, and it'll be nonstop. Like you see how the Democrats are disrupting the hearings now with their nonsense.
Yep.
The Eric Fartwells of the world and Jamie Raskins, the little commie that he is. You see them doing it now. Who's this little guy with the hair that missed the impeachment vote for his own impeachment bill? It'll just be more craziness like this. And we can post it and we all laugh and say these people are fools. But if we lose the House, we don't get Trump's agenda that was voted for.
Yeah, it needs to be
people got to start moving now. We got to know who we're going to primary. There's a few senators that need to be primaried immediately. They know who they are, and they could start posting all kinds of positive stuff about MAGA now. It's too late. I'm not going to name names now. Everybody, your audience is very smart, so they know.
Well, it's not just it's not just MAGA. Let me play this clip, but it's also MAHA. It's Making America Healthy Again, and here is Bobby Kennedy speaking and turning it around. Here's a 40-second clip on the lie that there's a measles epidemic and outbreak.
Let me address your first issue first, because I want to correct you. We have about 1,100 measles cases in this country. The growth rate last year was 15 additional, so we have plateaued. Mexico has roughly the same number with a third of our population, and they got 300 extra quick cases last week. Canada has more measles, 1,500. They have 1/8 of our population. Western Europe has about 6,000, which is 10 times the number that we have.
Well,
you are wrong about what you said earlier.
Oh God! Look at that thing.
Oh, it's swamp creature.
But it's like a deranged Muppet. I don't know.
Deranged Muppet.
It's like a Muppet from hell. What is that?
Could be a new one. Muppets from Hell. A crap party.
This is what happens when you take away the PBS funding.
weirdest creature.
Or those screeches from the Dark Crystal. And listen, not too long, it was only a couple of weeks ago. They had her as a front runner for president. She was making the TikTok videos and she was all looking out of her office and oh, what those cringe videos that the Democrats. Oh, I can't breathe.
But on that, but also on the other point that I don't mean to jump in your laughter. No, but on the other point, it is RFK saying Western Europe, 6,000 cases of measles, which is 10 times what America have, and no one in Europe is talking about a pandemic or an epidemic or whatever. All lies.
We've been waiting for the next pandemic during the last pandemic. You know what I'm saying? They've been pushing this, and now we're finding out. California, there's something I saw an article that they're finding out that a lot of funds that was supposed to be for the pandemic went to other things, and you know, I mean that whole stimulus package, that first ridiculous bill that Nancy Pelosi passed. Was so much fraud, and there's a lot of money, you know, still sitting there, and a lot of money that needs to be recouped. And I don't know how they're ever going to get through that whole spider's web of mess. This is like what they did in our own country with this money is like what they do with offshore accounts and dummy accounts. I mean, they're slick. Democrats know how to hide their money, except that Menendez guy that sewed the gold bars right in his suit. You know, not all of them are that brilliant, but they know how to hide it and spend it real fast in dummy accounts. And you know, I'm still waiting for what's the big one that wants to run for Georgia again? Stacey Abrams.
Seriously? Oh my word!
A lot of, I mean. That, you know, the Green New Deal money for stoves. This is like what they used Pete Buttigieg. Trump makes fun of him. That video, and he says, "Yeah, he's riding on his bike with his husband on the back, which is okay." Anyway, he's running. He's doing rallies now, and like Pothole Pete did such a great job. The whole infrastructure bill. They built what? 5 charging stations. 5. There's more people with Starlink than all the money that was supposed to be used for their fiber optics cables that was supposed to go everywhere. Remember Joe Biden? Oh, the kids are on the computers in the McDonald's parking lot to do their homework. And, you know, all that BS. It just, that's what I'm saying. It's like people, I hope, are waking up to all the lies that were fed to them for 4 years. A few books isn't proof.
Yeah.
We lived through it. You heard it. Don't let it get buried. Don't have, you know, short attention span, because that's what they like to do too. They come out with an old spin. They come out with a new spin. It's just repackaged lies from before. And a lot of people that aren't in the know or don't watch the news all the time and, you know, have actual lives, not like you and me that are glued to, you know, current events. But people depend on us to let them know what's going on with our, you know, small accounts, big accounts. It doesn't matter. They just drop in, and you got to let them know they're still lying to you guys. They're still lying to you. Please, please don't fall back.
Well,
don't go back.
Here's on the economic side. They've tried to lie on that. And here is, let me bring this another clip talking about, I think, inflation at a 4-year low or something like that. Let me hear it.
That down. These tariff things, and I was the only one coming on TV saying
it's true
that if anything, it might be a one-time hit. You know, and that's historically what they've been, a one-time adjustment. But more importantly, They're not going to pass these prices on. If you're already struggling, you're behind on your credit card, and something that you were going to spend $400 on costs $450, you're not going to buy it. You're simply not going to buy it. That's why Wall Street went crazy, because Wall Street doesn't care about Main Street. They just care about corporate profits. And even if they have to suffer for 1 or 2 quarters, oh my goodness, they can't feed at the trough for maybe 3 to 6 months. They lost their minds. Now they're losing their shirt, because they bet against the stock market. Main Street bet on the stock market. We're at a moment in time where the dumb money is crushing the smart money, and the smart money already panicking, having to buy in and taking a loss. So they bet against America because of one thing, TDS. It was a huge mistake, in my opinion. Never bet against America, no matter who's in the White House.
You've been consistent on this from the very beginning, and proven right as well, Charles.
So yeah, it's coming together on the economic side. We touched on the money coming in from those deals in the Middle East tour, but with inflation so low, and people want money back in their pockets, and that's seemingly what Trump is delivering.
He's saying, it's the TDS.
Yeah.
They want America to fail because it makes Trump look bad.
Yes.
Now here I saw this article, your Daily Mail, Trump derangement syndrome to be studied under new bill. How to tell if you've got it. This is your Daily Mail, dude.
Do you know what's going to happen? Big Pharma will jump on it, and they'll introduce drugs to fix this. It'll be a money spinner.
Well, we saw the memes, Trump and all.
Yeah.
Taking Trump and all and suppositories for Democrats. But can you imagine that? I take this with a grain of salt, but it's like, people have lost their minds. But the fact that you've lost your mind so much because this faux hatred or this hatred that's been ingrained in you like an MK Ultra, okay, to hate Trump and hate Trump voters, okay, the fact that they're going to study this. Can you imagine if Trump does get on Mount Rushmore? We're gonna have to build new Creedmoors all over the country. They're sending people, criminals and that, to El Salvador. What are we going to do with Americans that are just they've gone bonkers, worse than they are now?
Well, we send them to the asylum that is California and wall it off. They're not allowed out.
Well, now you're talking escape from New York, escape from LA.
Yes.
They turn, both cities into penal colonies. Okay.
Yep.
We're not far off.
No, I know.
Because this is where the loonies decide they want to be. But can you imagine? Just think in 20 years, this whole time, how it's going to be looked back on, how it's going to be written in history books. It's incredible. I hope I live to see it. I hope I live to see, the beginning of the next generation and how they're going to handle these crazies, how it's going to be remembered, because it should be remembered where we laugh at all of it because we're so happy in the now, or we're going to look back and say, how did we let people get away with this?
Yeah.
And also the people that perpetrated some of the nonsense going on now, will they feel any guilt in the future? Like you see with the Jake Tapper books and stuff, quickly covering up what they did. And sometimes my jaw just hits the floor in amazement of what's conspiring. And
well, let me play just this last clip of talking about basically the Democrats wanting to stop illegals being returned. This is judge indicted for hiding illegals from ICE. Here's the clip.
America First agenda. A federal grand jury just indicted that Wisconsin judge, Hannah Dugan, after she allegedly helped an illegal avoid ICE at her courthouse. Senator, again, promises made, promises kept. Tom Homan, the president, said, look, you interfere with the lawful work of ICE.
Tom Homan must be the greatest border czar you could ever have.
And he loves what he does, and he loves the president.
Yep.
And, this guy could be retired. He could be, just doing his thing. But this is a man that loves his job and it's not because, oh, he's a racist and this and that. No, he loves his country. He loves his countrymen. He wants people to be safe. He wants children to be safe. He wants these undocumented kids that are left in the middle of the desert to stop dying. He's held kids that have died in his arms. Okay? He's seen it all. The rape trees, all the horrors. And to see it stop without, oh, we need a bill and this and that, that's what he loves to see. He loves to see people safe and sound.
Yeah.
And a country that is safe and sound, and a leader that wants Americans to be safe and sound. If Democrats, this is the hill they're going to die on, just like with the transgender, mutilating the kids, the men and women's sports. If this is the hill they're going to die on, they're never going to win another election.
Exactly.
And the only way they can win is if they cheat. That's why the midterms are coming. There are House legislatures that have to get moving now, because there's still a lot of, with the mail-in ballots and this and that have not been overturned since 2020, that were illegally done, unconstitutionally done, I should say. But I think it's illegal what a lot of these folks did. And you still got Mark Elias's and all those, lawyers out there making it hard.
No, well, watching that closely.
Yeah.
Let me just bring up just a picture of the UK, just for our UK viewers. Always love having Karli on to focus on what's happening stateside. But here is the weird story in the UK, and Karli did post this also. Fired Keir Starmer's 2 million London home with entire street cordoned off. Emergency services launch probe. And I understand it's also been said there was a fire at another house of his, I think, on the same day. So who knows what that is? Maybe we will know at some point, maybe not.
They did arrest one guy.
Yeah.
There was one arrest. It's arson.
Yeah. There was one arrest, so we'll see. We'll see
and
what
the
happens.
next day he went on, and he's talking about the immigration problem. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, London, it's too late. You've been invaded without a shot fired.
It's too late. But of course, that change suddenly of opinion is because of the threat of Nigel Farage, who actually will be in number 10 Downing Street. He'll be Prime Minister in 2029. And that is scaring Labour and scaring Keir Starmer. And suddenly he decides, oh, we just can't let unlimited immigrants come in. But actually, all his government are so much against him. So it's pathetic. It really is.
It's like what went on in Canada. So, but they still picked a Trudeau kind of guy. I mean, they got rid of Trudeau, and they even kept the twitchy one.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
The
kept
weirdo.
Twitchy.
Yes.
What's up with that? Why is she in the cabinet? I don't know.
She hasn't fully malfunctioned yet. That's why.
She's
on
waiting.
the edge.
It's something to behold. I don't get it. I don't get it. I was praying for Canada. I was praying, but this guy, for what it's worth, he's a banker or whatever.
Yep.
But Trump seems to like when these guys win. He seems to find it easier to deal with. I mean, he shamed Trudeau out of office, just shamed him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Destroyed him. Because, let me tell you, Trudeau, when Trump was in office before, would make fun of him. And he's been caught on camera.
Yep.
And Trump was just like, okay, I'm going to destroy you. Payback's a bitch, so they say.
And he did.
And he did.
I know. Karli, thank you so much for coming on. I know that we're just recording this just before War Room on Friday. So I know you will go and do the wonders that you do with your clips and posts. And we've kept you away from prepping for that, but always good having you on, Karli. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. God bless America. I pray for, your home country. I pray for England. Let's go, Nigel. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. He just needs a bit more of a backbone, but he's getting there. He's
He's
slowly
getting
growing
there.
one. So it's all good. But thanks, Karli.